Hello, everyone. It's me, David, and no one else. No one else is here recording with me. I can wait all day. I can wait all day for this bit to continue.
I could have gone on forever, but man, what a colossal waste of time. Yeah, I guess I'm here, uninvited apparently.
Whoa, where did you come from, Brian? I didn't know you were on this show too.
The magical land of Washington.
That's all right. I don't know if magical is the word I'd use, but okay.
Just like a quick succession of images of Tacoma, Washington, just like flash over screen.
All right.
Yeah.
But hello, here we're talking Toku, the only podcast where we talk about sci-fi monsters and dinosaur adventures. We're here and we're doing an episode and we're recording on St. Patrick's Day, and part of me wanted to open this show with a really awful Irish accent, but I forgot to do that. So
I'm really glad you didn't do that.
I know you would have gotten really mad at me if I did.
I'm not mad, I just would be cringing so hard.
You'd
probably be able to hear me shudder through the computer.
I'll do a nice Jacksepticeye top of the morning to you, laddies.
Please no. Please no. Did I ever tell you that I met him one time?
You met Jacksepticeye?
Like, yeah, just like randomly. He was at PAX East, and like I don't know. I was never really. I think I was too late.
Yeah.
I never really. But my brother was like huge into Jacksepticeye at the time, so like I took a picture with him, and I just looked like kind of unimpressed, and he was like doing like this fucking weird ass pose.
Wow.
Like, and then I just sent it to Christoph, and he's just like, "Whoa!"
Do you still have this picture? I want to see it.
I probably have it somewhere. It's probably saved up on my Google Drive somewhere.
I would love to see it.
I can try and find it.
I would love to see you being thoroughly unimpressed with Jacksepticeye. That sounds really, really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to check. Because I didn't take that picture, but I did take another picture just of him, which I know I have.
Okay. So the other one should be around somewhere.
Maybe. Just the person who took it, I'm on no longer on speaking terms with.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, we'll just have to hope for the best, and I want to get a funny haha laugh out of it. So here's hoping.
Okay.
But we got a show to do, Brian. What the heck are we doing today?
We're finally back with an interview.
I know we've been on a bit of an unintended hiatus, but we have an interview, and it's been so long since we did a proper interview, almost a year now. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, actually, I think over a year. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
It's been like a billion years in podcast years.
Yeah, so. That that is
in
very
internet
true.
Time.
That's
in internet time. It's ancient history.
Epochs.
Yeah.
One could say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we have an interview with Joey Weiser, who is the artist and author behind by the time this comes out, newly released graphic novel, The Littlest Fighter. So we kind of picked his brain about that. I know, of course, we'll leave links and stuff in the description to check out his work and also to go buy The Littlest Fighter. Because you know what? It was a lot of fun, and you guys should check it out.
Yeah. So. Support indie comics.
Yeah.
Or sort of on the larger end of indie comics.
Yeah, on the line. They're riding the line.
Yeah.
So
do it.
But before we do all that fun stuff, we got some news to get through. A lot of MonsterVerse stuff, a lot of Gamera stuff actually. So let's kind of get into this. Brian, our favorite show of all time is coming back, but it's not really coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back in comic form.
Yes. So,
AKA nobody was interested in this, but enough people were to warrant a comic.
Yes. So Skull Island, the animated series that dropped on Netflix. Was that last year? I think that was last year.
God, it
feels so much longer than that. It feels so much longer than that. But yeah, so Skull Island so far has not been renewed for a second season yet, but Return to Skull Island is going to be hitting comic shops on June 4th under... Who is publishing this? Oh, Legendary Comics. That would make sense. I forgot they have their own publishing branch. So it's... Let me see. There's got to be... Is there actually a description for this? I don't know. Or is it just like this is what we're doing?
I mean, kind of regardless, I'm not really that interested.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to show like how many people were interested, as you said, that it's returning as a comic and not a second season. It seems like they're just going to kind of wrap up some of the story threads that didn't get wrapped up in the series because it didn't get renewed, and I assume call it a day, or who knows, maybe if the book actually does well, they'll continue it.
I kind of doubt that.
That's why I said
but hey,
if it does well.
Yeah.
I mean, I want it to do well. I want more MonsterVerse stuff that's not, bad. I don't know if...
Yeah.
I mean, it's still just okay, Skull Island, but, I would rather something...
I would also like things that aren't just Godzilla and Kong.
I mean, that too.
But, this is the world that we've built for ourselves.
Unfortunately.
So.
I mean, well, we are also getting... We can because I forgot to put this in the news segment as well. That's not the only MonsterVerse comic coming out, actually. We're also getting MonsterVerse Declassified, which they announced a while ago, but they only just now revealed details about it. Do we have actually... we have a date for this, May 13th. So it's just... I think it's an anthology book. It is. Focusing on different titans throughout the MonsterVerse. So I don't know if this is an actual description. Oh yeah, solicitation. This is what I want. Explore the great uncharted corners of the MonsterVerse in this thrilling graphic novel anthology that delves into the previously classified myths and origins of the towering monsters we know as Titans. Bear witness to the eight-legged horror that is Abaddon, who may or may not be the forebearer of all arachnids. Walk in the monolithic footsteps of Behemoth, the lumbering protector of vulnerable biomes the world over. Discover the legacy of Tiamat that lives on through ancient fables and futuristic technology. And live a day in the life of the tiniest titan of them all, Titanus Doug. All this and much more revealed thanks to newly unsealed documents straight from the secured vaults of Monarch, the mysterious agency of discoverers and defenders in a time of monsters. Let myth be your compass in this journey through the MonsterVerse. So we actually are getting stuff that's not just Godzilla and Kong.
That sounds pretty cool, to be honest.
It does. I don't really care about Abaddon or Doug for that matter. I know everyone loves Doug. I'm not one of those people.
Abaddon is the Kong Survivor Instinct.
Yeah,
guy, right?
The giant spider that looked really
boring,
awful. The most boring giant
spider.
The most boring giant spider design you could possibly come up with. Interesting that they're doing one for Abaddon. I would have liked to see something else. Like maybe
something good.
Potentially like one of the Titans that we saw the name of in King of the Monsters, but haven't actually seen visually in any media whatsoever. So yeah, that would be cool. Maybe if that one does well enough, they'll do a second one. I'll get it. I'm interested because I think they've posted some stuff from at least the Behemoth one. I think Michael Dougherty was posting some stuff about that on his Twitter account, which, by the way, Brian, the whole thing that's going on, that there's that genetics company that did the woolly mice.
Yeah, I vaguely heard about that.
Were they were able to splice some DNA strands of woolly mammoths into mice, and they got that like big fur, the wooliness of it.
I didn't really look into that too much, but I did see something about woolly mice.
Yeah, so that's basically what they did.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, Michael Dougherty is like part of that company.
Oh?
Yeah, Like I haven't like done a ton of research, but he's like part of that. He's one of the like the people like pushing for that, all that like genetic stuff, like bringing. I don't know if they're actually going to bring back a woolly mammoth at some point, but like they're doing all that weird genetic stuff, and he is part of that, which is wild to me.
That kind of tracks.
It kind of does. It just knowing him, but like I would not have expected him to have been involved. I mean, I guess it explains why he hasn't made a movie since 2019, but still,
He wants to make a fucking woolly mammoth.
he wants to make.
I mean,
make real kaiju.
yeah, he was trying to tell us something with that big woolly mammoth.
He was exactly.
Yeah, he's like this. This is the stand-in for the real woolly mammoth that I will eventually bring back to life.
Yeah. Well, this is just the first steps, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Second story.
More MonsterVerse
Another
stuff.
MonsterVerse. More MonsterVerse. Matthew Modine joins the MonsterVerse.
Yes.
And begins filming in April.
Mm-hmm. So there's another one that I forgot to put in as well. But yeah, we are ramping up with pre-production news for Grant Spatore's MonsterVerse film. So Matthew Modine, who was in Stranger Things and Oppenheimer,
as the creepy guy.
The creepy guy.
The creepy guy who kidnaps kids.
Yes.
And shocks them.
Mm-hmm. So he's joining the MonsterVerse.
CIA shit. Sorry.
Yeah. So he's joining the film, as well as Delroy Lindo, who's been in a lot of stuff. He's going to be in Sinners, Ryan Coogler's vampire movie coming out next month, I think. He's shown up he's one of those faces that kind of just show up in a lot of random things. The only thing I had seen him in prior to this, I think, is Da 5 Bloods, which was Spike Lee's last film. He's been in a lot of Spike Lee's films as well. But so yeah, Delroy Lindo and Matthew Modine, and we also had I can't remember if we talked about this. We have confirmation that Dan Stevens is coming back. It was a lot of talk, but nothing was confirmed. But Grant Spatore posted on his socials that yes, he's officially coming back. So, and as you mentioned, yes, the film is scheduled to start shooting in April. That's next month. That's so close.
Sure is.
Where Godzilla's coming back, Brian. So, yeah.
Yep, he sure is.
Hopefully it's a good movie. We'll see.
God, I hope so. Yeah.
All right. So we got the MonsterVerse stuff out of the way. Now to talk about Gamera.
Gamera time.
Yeah. So this year, 2025, is the 60th anniversary.
That is this year.
Is the 60th anniversary of Gamera the Giant Monster. So we're looking at some stuff happening for that. So firstly, and this is the cool thing, Gamera Rebirth Code Thyrsos, which is the prequel manga to the anime itself. It takes place like 100,000 years before the series. That is getting an official English translation, which is really, really cool. I really did not expect that to ever get an English translation, but here we are, and I'm really excited for that because I think we talked about that when it was first announced back when Gamera Rebirth first dropped, and I'm like, well, can't wait to never read this, but I was wrong. I am going to get to read it.
Talking about a million years ago.
I know.
Rebirth was a million years ago.
I think that was also last year, Brian.
No, it wasn't.
I think it was.
It definitely wasn't. Oh my god, dude.
Oh, okay, sorry, 2023. My bad.
Okay, I was gonna say there's no
but it was late 2023. It was September. So do with that information what you will.
Oh, okay. I guess that's not as bad.
So it was a year and a half.
Still feels way too long ago.
So volume 1, I think, is it volume 1, or are they putting it all in one big thing? I can't quite tell. It doesn't say. I think. No, I don't know how long the series was, but it's whatever it is, whether it's a single volume or a full omnibus, it's scheduled for release November 25th. So keep an eye out for that. And I think there was something as well, like Gamera Rebirth is being re-edited to air on TV, and it's going from 6 episodes to 12. And I don't know why that is, because they're already 20-minute episodes. So are they cutting them down to 15 minutes? Or are they... is there new content to be found in the broadcast version? It's unclear. It looks like some of the animation has been improved from the trailer. There's a little more detail, and some of the lighting effects are a little better. But I don't know. I really don't know what they're planning on doing with that. So
yeah, I don't know. Those episodes were pretty short, so
yeah, I don't know how you can go from 6 to 12. That's a 100% increase. I'm really not sure how that's gonna work.
Well, they can do whatever they want. It's their shit.
It's true,
even if it don't make any sense.
Yep. But there is Katakawa also say they're planning something for Gamera's 60th anniversary. They dropped just a couple days ago one of those cute little logos that Toho loves doing for their anniversary stuff, which, hey, heads up, Terror of Mechagodzilla's 50th anniversary was yesterday, and I haven't seen any 50th anniversary merch for Titanosaurus, so what the fuck is going on there, Toho? Come on.
That's criminal.
It is criminal. Anyways, but yeah, there's a cute little 60th anniversary Gamera logo, and they say they have something planned. There is a new project. What that means, I don't know. A new project. They don't say what this project is. One of my favorite pages, Kaiju Shitposting, says it's probably just going to be a fucking pachinko machine, and I'm honestly thinking that's probably what it's gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it is.
There's like a good 60% chance of that happening.
It really is. It really is. So I don't know. I don't think a new film will happen because Gamera Rebirth was kind of released to gauge interest in Gamera as an IP, and I think Gamera Rebirth was one of the least watched series on Netflix that year. So I don't think a Gamera film is really feasible in that climate, but who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It'd be nice.
Wow, really? One of the worst?
Like I think
That's
was
crazy.
It was like it wasn't the worst, but it was like number 2 or something, which is not great either.
Really sad considering the fucking trash that's on Netflix.
I know.
There's so much shit. There's so much shit on Netflix that I have never heard of that came out recently.
Have you been seeing all the stuff about the Electric State, Brian?
Yeah, I keep hearing shit about it, and then I see that it's a movie with what fucking.
So it's the latest.
Chris Pratt. It's got Chris Pratt, right?
Yeah. So it's the latest movie from the Russo brothers, Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame's own. It is one of the most expensive films ever made at like $350 million budget or something, and it is not based on a book or anything. It is based on a book of like concept art. No story whatsoever, just some artwork, and they're like, "Hey, we can make a movie out of this." And it has been lambasted critically. People are saying it's like one of the worst movies of the year so far. Howard's coming over to talk about this. It's never a good thing when he marches over here.
Oh boy.
I can't hear myself.
Oh, wrong mic.
Yep. Okay. I just wanted to hi. How are you, everyone listening? I just wanted to say that this is actually the first time we got a new style of Hideo Kojima movie reviews.
I saw this.
Where he just said he didn't even watch it. He made a post before even watching it. He went, well, this is an interesting idea to make a movie out of it or something like along that lines. And then he never talked about it at all.
Yeah.
This is the man who logs every single movie. He watched this movie and had genuinely nothing to say. He couldn't even be bothered to say, yeah, I finished watching it.
Yeah.
Which is something he usually does.
Yeah.
If he talks about a movie before he watches it, he'll go like, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch Furiosa. I love the director."
For the 18th time.
Yeah, and then he'll talk about it's like, "Oh God, I love the Fist of the North Star thing," and he'll like make giant threads. This movie, he couldn't even be bothered to say anything after watching it. After he already said something about it. I'm scared of what this movie is.
Part of me really wants to watch it to see just how nothing it is.
It has to be a nothing burger, right?
It has to be. I saw a clip and I'm like, wow, I feel nothing watching this. But I don't know. So I don't know if I want to put myself through 2 hours of that.
It's 2.5 hours.
I have no idea. I'm just assuming.
How many Jurassic World Dominions is this movie worth?
Well, I don't know. We haven't seen it yet, Brian. We don't know. We gotta watch it to find out.
No.
Okay, that's it. I'll be gone now.
Thank you, Howard. Thank you for the input.
Man, when Kojima has nothing to say about
that's when you know you fucked up.
That's some bottom of the barrel stuff right there.
It's rough. Wow. It's rough.
I don't know if you know this, but Kojima is like one of the only people that I have notifications set for when he posts. So you can see when he posts.
Just you can see. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Because he's always just like fucking like uploading a picture of him with some like random celebrity, and you're just like, how does he know them?
he's just got that aura, man.
Yeah, I like to think that he just loves to email people and just be like, hey, you want to hang out?
Yeah, honestly, he just sees they're in town, like, hey. All right. Last news thing. It's not really anything, but that direct sequel to Cloverfield that has not gotten an update since it was announced is apparently still happening. That's really...
Dude, I remember when the first announcement for this came out, and I instantly was just like, there's no way this shit's happening. In the back of my mind, I just knew that it was going to get caught up in development hell.
Yeah. So Babak Anvari, who's the director, was at a event. I don't know if it was a red carpet event or something. He did just have a film come out, so it was probably for the premiere of that, Hallow Road. And someone asked him about like, "Oh, what's happening with this?" And he's like, basically, "I can't say anything, but it's still happening."
That's a good answer.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's an update, but not really. It's just it's still happening, I guess.
Okay.
And hey, listen. We'll be there day one to tell you if there's anything actually worthwhile talking about this movie, because I want it to come out. I really, really do.
I would like for there to be more than one, I guess, 2 good Cloverfield movies.
Me too. out of the 3 there are.
I actually haven't seen 10 Cloverfield Lane in a while.
Neither
I remember
have I.
liking it.
I
remember liking it when I saw it.
The last time you watched it is probably the last time I watched it, Brian. So.
Oh yeah, we saw that, didn't we?
I think we both watched it like when it came out on home video too, but you know.
No, but I do remember seeing. I'm pretty sure we saw it.
Oh no, we definitely saw it together in theaters.
Yeah,
but I think we both.
Yeah, I don't remember if I saw it any more times than that.
I don't
even know if I remember watching it at home.
I don't know. All right.
Oh, man.
Well, we'll move on to our next segment because it's not time for the interview yet.
No, and I'm actually prepared for this.
Are you? You're prepared for this? Okay.
I am. I wrote down some bangers to draw from.
So Brian is prepared for our Godzilla Mad Libs segment. So
dude,
all right.
I want you to know that this has been the only time that I have used these Write in the Rain notebooks that I bought for school.
Okay.
These are just notebooks that have like paper that like doesn't crumple in rain.
Okay, that's kind of neat.
And literally the only time I've used them because I don't know, I haven't had it to. So you know what? It's good. I'm getting some use out of them.
All right, well, let's do it. We're gonna do DIY Godzilla movie trailer. All right.
Oh boy, let's go.
All right. So first up, I need an adjective.
An adjective. Okay. See what I got here. Filthy.
Okay. Next up, I'm going to take this one because I know you're in your office and alone because it's person in room. So I'm going to put down Howard Miller.
Wow.
He didn't even look over here. I don't even know if he heard that.
That's funny.
He's mouthing something and I can't read lips though, so I don't know what he said.
He's mad at you.
The fucker better not be mad at me. I just let him on the show to talk about Hideo Kojima.
It's true.
I need another adjective.
Another adjective. All right. Bald.
Classic. I like it. I need a noun.
Noun. TGI Fridays.
That's so specific. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm also going to take this one. It's occupation plural. I'm putting podcasters.
Wow. Okay.
It's like us, Brian. We're going to be in the movie.
Are we going to go to TGI Fridays?
Yeah, we're going to go to TGI Fridays. I've only been to
Amazing.
TGI Fridays once in my life.
I don't know. I don't even remember if I've ever been to one.
Well, we're going to now.
Okay.
I need another noun.
Another noun. Capri Sun.
I like how all your nouns are proper nouns.
Yeah, dude.
I need a plural noun now.
Plural nouns. Or plural noun. Let's see here. Dumpsters.
Nice. Give me an adverb, Brian.
Adverb. Powerfully.
I like it. Celebrity.
Keanu Reeves.
Nice.
I had that one fucking in the chamber.
Yeah, you did. You were ready for that. I like it. All right. Give me a verb.
Verb. Let's see here. Crab walk.
Okay. A city.
Tacoma, Washington.
What was the one we did last time?
Regina.
It was Regina, yeah.
That one made you like laugh.
It really
when you read it.
It really killed me. I don't know why, but it really killed me. I need another celebrity, Brian. Give me another celebrity.
Guy Fieri.
Okay. I like it. Gotta spell his name right. Silly
Please,
word.
Please. I need one more celebrity, please.
That was the last
silly
one.
word.
Sorry, Brian.
Oh, fuck. You need a silly word.
I need
Okay.
a silly word.
Silly word. That's so broad. Why would you ask that? Man.
Sorry, Brian.
Silly word. bodacious.
Okay.
I think bodacious is pretty silly.
That's pretty silly. I need part of the body, plural.
Oh, no.
Be mature, Brian. Or not. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Jowls.
Jowls?
Jowls.
I like it. Something alive, plural.
Frogs.
Okay. I need a letter of the alphabet.
Let's go with let's go with B. B for Brian.
B for Brian. I like it.
B for Brian.
I need a plural noun.
All right. Minivans.
Minivans. And finally, I need a number.
420.
Wow. I couldn't have imagined. I'm pretty sure we did 69 last time. Yeah, we did do 69.
That's why I did.
Yeah, we did 420 and then I crossed it out and did 69 instead.
Right. So we're correcting that error.
We're correcting the mistake, yeah. All right, let me finish filling this in and then I'll read it off to you, Brian.
Okay.
You know what?
You know what? A little bit bummed that I didn't say Hideo Kojima for one of the
That would have been
celebrities.
good. That would have been good. Also, Brian.
Hideo Kojima mentioned.
I'm putting in B for Brian in the actual thing, and it's going to make sense as to why when I get there.
Oh, let's go, dude. Okay, sounds good.
All right, Brian, are you ready to hear about our DIY Godzilla movie trailer?
Yes, I am.
All right. Create your own Godzilla movie trailer with this filthy guide. The following dialogue is the following dialogue is read by Howard Miller in a bald voice. In a TGI Friday. No, it never does. In a TGI Fridays where podcasters rise to power through daring experiments, the arrogance of humankind will be our Capri Sun. This summer, the king of the dumpsters is back. Hear its powerfully remastered roar in surround sound. From director Keanu Reeves, the story you know in Crabwalk is reimagined in the streets of Tacoma, featuring Guy Fieri as Dr. Bodacious. The fate of the world rests on this scientist's jowls. Is there hope for all those innocent frogs? Find out in Godzilla. Rated B for Brian. May not be suitable for minivans under the age of 420.
The B for Brian's part was the best.
I told you it would make sense when I got to it.
That sounds like the worst fucking movie I could imagine.
I don't know. Guy Fieri as Dr. Bodacious sounds pretty rad.
Holy shit.
That sounds like a great casting decision to me. I think you did pretty well.
That was a good one. Hell yeah. All right. Another successful Godzilla Mad Libs.
I love it. We love to see it. All right. Well, we're going to stop talking and doing stupid shit, and we're going to bring you over to the past versions of ourselves where we talk to Joey Weiser. Enjoy. Hello, we're here. It's another interview, just like we just talked about 2 seconds ago, but here it is, the interview that we were talking about. So please welcome our fine guest, Joey Weiser. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I should have asked that beforehand before we started recording, but here I am now doing it on the recording.
Wow. That was a good guess. Correct.
Okay, cool.
You got it.
You said
I always say, like the beer, no relation.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. You scared me for a second there because you said good guess, and I assumed you were going to follow up with but no. But all right, I'm glad I was correct. So, well, welcome to the show, Joey. It's lovely to have you, and obviously we already talked about it right before we cut to this part of the episode. But tell us, why are you here? You have a book coming out, I've heard.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm a cartoonist and author. I write and draw graphic novels. And I have a new book coming out on March 18th, which may be now or in the past or in the future. And it is called The Littlest Fighter, and it is a kaiju-inspired graphic novel. The pitch I usually give is that if you imagine that a kaiju about the size of a human child wants to battle giant-sized kaiju.
That's a pretty good pitch if ever I heard one. And I have to ask, I was telling my friend about this right before we started recording, and I want to get your take on this. He equated it to boxing manga. Do you think would that be like an apt comparison?
Sure. I honestly haven't. I just started reading Ashita no Joe. That first big, thick volume of that came out in English this past year, and I absolutely loved it. But I wouldn't say that it was a specific inspiration. But I'm a big manga reader and a big like kind of action manga reader, so that's in there for sure.
Okay. All right. I just had to throw that in there for him before we got into the interview proper, because he's off in the other room, so he'll appreciate that. But all right, cool, good. Just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, so book's coming out next week, and this won't be a review. It's more an interview, obviously. But if you are okay with it, I think we got some questions for you, if that's fine by you.
Sure, that's why I'm here.
All right, cool. Glad we ironed that out.
We're here to interrogate you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've got the spotlight on me. I'm sweating bullets. We'll see how it goes.
I did message you last week in all caps, be prepared. So
if be prepared means shove half a frozen pizza in me before I sat down, then I am prepared.
Listen,
That's the only way to prepare.
I just had a burrito bowl, so I'm right there with you.
Nice.
But yeah, so Brian, I kind of organized this alternating, so if you wanna kick things off for us, I'm putting you on the spot now.
Okay. You know me. I love the spotlight.
Yes, you do.
Well, we always like hearing where people got their start with kaiju media, and with such a unique story that goes double. So when did kaiju films and TV first come into your life? Why do you think it left such an impact on you?
Godzilla was the beginning for me. I was a huge Godzilla fan when I was a kid, and that's would have been like the 80s into the 90s. And so I was like renting as many Godzilla movies as I could. And this was, of course, all, the majority of it is like the Showa stuff. I think the newest movie that I recall seeing on video store shelves at the time was Biollante. And so I really just kind of have that ingrained in me. And as time went on, I became interested in Japanese media in a sort of broader sense. I got into anime, and I started learning the language, and I started watching Japanese film of all sorts. And over the years, I kind of picked up. I watched Gamera and Ultraman and kind of revisiting all this stuff. And it really is the like Showa era stuff that really like speaks to me. And I think that the thing is, I when I was a kid, I think I could still tell that it was guys in rubber suits smashing model cities. I don't think I was like swept away in the realism of it, but I think that that's what was fun about it, was that it looked fun to do. It looked fun to play around with toys, and it looked fun to smash them, Yeah. And so I think it's that feeling of fun that like really stuck with me. And the feeling of like people making stuff, and creativity and things like that. And so, when I was reflecting back on kaiju stuff, when I kind of decided I wanted to do this kaiju themed project, that's definitely one of the kind of two main motifs that I knew that I needed to include were like monster battles and smashing cities, because that's the kind of like pillars of the genre, right? And I think that that's what really like stuck with me since I was a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I basically that's like the same reason why like we love the Showa era stuff too. Like we're always talking about how like the suit designs and just people like just like pro wrestling almost. It's just like that's part of the appeal to it, you know. Like so some people don't like the man in suit. They think it's goofy, but like I think that's a huge part of the appeal for a lot of people.
If you trace back in my life, on my life's path, all the way back to when I was a kid watching these movies, the whole reason that this podcast exists is because little old me wanted to be a suit actor because of the Godzilla films.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think it's really fun when you can tell that art is made by a person, right? Or by a group of people. And like the Showa era stuff has a very handmade quality that I think is very endearing.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's very much like when you watch those movies, you can tell that they're having a great time and like people got to really like just like build a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, I totally understand that. Absolutely.
So I'm curious because we mentioned like just how fun it seems to do that, smash around model cities and stuff. Are you familiar at all with Kaiju Big Battle?
Oh yeah, I am kind of like a passing familiarity. It was a thing I was always kind of like, I think I learned about it in college and I saw like images from it. I've never actually like been to a live event or anything like that. But it seems like a cool thing. You mentioned pro wrestling earlier, and that was a thing that as a kid I was not into because I think it didn't have as many like mutants and monsters and robots and things as I required.
That's what Kaiju Big Battle's for.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it seems like a very cool thing. It's just nothing that I've really delved into.
So the way Brian and I discovered Kaiju Big Battle, and I know we're already getting off topic on the first question, I'm sorry, but so we had gone to a screening of the original Japanese cut of Godzilla at one of the local theaters in Boston. I think it was the first time we had seen that version of the film. And we had no idea. We had no idea, but Kaiju Big Battle was on the bill as like an opening act.
Oh, interesting.
And we were watching this with just like undivided, rapt attention. I remember turning to Brian and I go, I think that's what I want to do with my life now. Because it looked just like
awesome.
So much fun. And then I have not seen them since. I have not gone to an event of theirs since, which really sucks. But maybe
you saw that and life immediately made sense to you, dude.
Yeah, I know. Well, speaking of mutants and monsters, having enough of them, there's quite a lot here in the Littlest Fighter, and I'm really a sucker for cool and unique character designs, and there's a lot in here. I think like probably Swillow and Dot are my two favorite character designs, and I don't know why I like. I might cut this part out, but for some reason, when I was writing this question, I put Jade instead of Dot, and then I'm going back. I'm like, who the hell is Jade?
I don't know.
Where did I get where did I get this name from? That's not the character's name. But yeah, so I really liked like all the character designs, but those two were standouts. Especially Swillow, like that felt very, very kind of 70s specific Ultraman to me. Like kind of maybe like Ultraman Taro era. So I just wanted to know like what some of the influences behind the character design specifically were.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm first sketching things, it's just like playing with shapes initially, just kind of like drawing shapes, and it's almost kind of like subconscious what comes out. I've had people call out Swillow's design as reminding them of Stranger Things, because there's like a flower monster.
Oh yeah, it does look like the Demogorgon. It does.
Yeah, I admit I have not actually seen that show, but I'm kind of vaguely aware of those monsters in that. But I think you really hit the nail on the head when you're saying it's kind of like an old Ultraman kaiju, because I think that's kind of more around the spot I was at. I definitely like probably around this time I was watching the original Kamen Rider, and there's like a rose monster in that left an impression on me because it has the most horrible screech committed to the film. But yeah, I think it was just one of those things where it's like, well, okay, I'm drawing lots of things with like fur and claws and horns and things. What if something was like more plant-like? Again, kind of going back to the Biollante thing. And I think that it was just kind of, just playing around with different stuff and trying to make all the characters stand out from one another. For like Ash's design, the main character, he came from just kind of playing with shapes and things that I thought were fun. I knew he was small and strong, so he's very kind of like stout and thick. He's got those thick arms and legs that make him look strong, and he has fire patterns around his eyes and down his back and stuff, and that's actually inspired, again, going back to wrestling, by luchador masks. I thought that would give him a sort of like fighting theme look to him. And yeah, once I had his design nailed, I could kind of like play around with other characters. So like Dot, for instance, I needed her to stand out from him since they would be talking to each other a lot. And so she's a little bit taller than him. She's like kind of fuzzy or feathery, kind of Muppety. But I didn't want, it to be like, I don't know, too boring. And so she's got those kind of like bird-like legs. It's just a lot of like mixing and matching elements and shapes and things.
Yeah, it works really well. I 100% picked up on the luchador influence. I'm like, hey, I think I know what he's doing there.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think I began to understand it, but I couldn't place what it was reminding me of. But now,
it's the kind of thing that it's not like important to me that people make that connection, but I've been curious if anyone would. So that's cool to hear.
And Brian, I believe you had a character design question in regards to Terry. You had mentioned to me.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Or did you already forget it?
I think I might have forgotten already. Dang it!
You see what I mean by how we're not super professional here, Joey.
Yeah, well, without getting into spoilers about Terry, I would say that he's a very important character, and I wanted him to he's extremely large, and so I needed him to kind of loom large and be kind of important, and so I think he's the kind of most Godzilla-y design of the characters, and gives him a little bit of that kind of iconic classic feel. He's also older than a lot of the characters. And then, the I don't know how much I want to say about this, but he's got like stuff on his back that is kind of also like plays into how just huge and large he is,
I think I remember my question now. Because you said old, and that immediately reminded me.
Go for it.
Did Terry were you at all inspired by the lion turtle from Avatar: The Last Airbender? Because
not directly, but I like that show. So
it just reminded me. I'm like, oh, it's like a lion turtle.
I mean, it's the thing with inspirations is that it all comes in to my head and then is kind of like swimming around in there, and sometimes I'm not conscious of what I'm drawing from, but that's an interesting comparison. I mean, I think there's a lot of kind of like East Asian myth stuff with like turtles with stuff on their back and things like that, and so it's very possible that was something that I was thinking about when I was designing it, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the idea of like, giant traveling, kaiju with like people living on their back, or like, I think that's like just the coolest kind of thing. Like the lion turtles, like there's an entire ecosystem on them, and then Terry's just like got a big heap, like basically a garden just on his back. And I love that. You don't really see that a whole lot.
Yeah, and he's a character who's very imposing but also very gentle, and that's kind of where the garden comes in.
Do we want to move on to the third question?
I think so. It's the big one.
It's the big question.
This is I'm going to level with you, Joey. This is the biggest question that we have on the show here. It's the only question that stays in every interview we do. It's very important.
Oof, okay.
So I hope you're prepared.
I don't know if I can be.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Oh, okay. Parasaurolophus is my favorite dinosaur.
Man, so fast on the draw. You might be one of the fastest.
I don't know.
This has been set in stone for many years in my life.
It's weird. People usually some people are like, they immediately have an answer, and then some are like, oh God, I have no idea. It's interesting. Like some people like grew up with dinosaurs and some people didn't. And I'm like, how did you not grow up with dinosaurs? How did you skip that like those formative years? I don't understand.
Well, we've kind of settled on it's generally for most kaiju fans, it started with dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was definitely a dinosaur kid too. So I think they live in the same universe of interests.
Yeah, we have a very loose definition of like kaiju. So like, I mean, dinosaurs are basically living, like used to be living kaiju. So it all fits. It all fits. Wow. I think that might also be a unique answer. I don't think anyone else has said that.
I don't think we've gotten.
I just think they look so cool. I like that, like the bone that sticks out of the back of their head, and I also kind of like that they seem pretty chill. Most of the time when you see illustrations of them, they're just like eating plants and sitting by the water or whatever.
Take it out.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, they're cool. I like their big heads. They're super
they're big heads.
Yeah.
Like I love looking at like the fossils and just like trying to like think about like what caused them to even evolve that. Like I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. They say that like maybe that's how they did like different calls was like through pushing air through their bones through the thing in their head, and it would kind of like have a I don't know, like an effect like blowing air through a ram's horn or something like that, right?
Yeah, I can kind of see that because I think it's like hollow in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just seemed really cool. Like I like the like headbutting one, the Pachycephalosaurus or whatever. Those guys are cool too, but they're a little more aggressive. So I like the Parasaurolophuses.
All right, well. You did it. You made it through the
Congratulations! You did it.
Congratulations! You can't hear it, but I'm clapping for you.
I had the faith in you because I know you. I know you did a little
question that has been building for millions upon millions of years. So,
well, we'll move on. We're already halfway through this interview's breezing by. But
too quick on the draw with these answers.
I know. It's
well, if you want, you can give us your runner-up favorite dinosaurs.
That's true.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, Stegosaurus is a good one. the classics.
Very herbivore focused. I've noticed. No carnivores here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a specific carnivore that I like more than others. I mean. Yeah, I don't really. It's weird how T-Rex's arms are so little.
It is weird.
But it's appealing.
Well,
They're just goofy.
Part of the reason that my favorite dinosaur is, oh God, Brian, why am I Carnotaurus? I blanked on it for a second. He's got even more littler arms than T-Rex.
Oh, really?
They're completely vestigial.
And the mating dance that they do. It's like their inner arms are like blue and they like wave them around. If you haven't, you should watch Prehistoric Planet, and they have an episode on about cool. Carnotauruses, and it's pretty goofy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we'll move on.
Plesiosaurs. Those guys are
cool.
Meat eaters, right?
Yeah. Eat the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're do they only eat fish?
I mean, they were in the
do not know
the sea. I would imagine that was most of their diet.
Some sea creatures can also, eat like non-fish. I don't know if you know this, but apparently orcas will prey on moose that are crossing.
That I did know.
Damn.
I did know that.
So, orcas will eat anything, man.
I think that's like, because like I think orcas are technically, because of that, the only natural predator of moose.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's such an insane factoid that it does not sound real, but it absolutely is. Okay, all right, we've gotten way off track here. Let's bring it back. So obviously, part of still going back to the character design. This was sort of a part to make him more relatable for the main audience, which is kids. But what was sort of the idea behind making Ash the titular Littlest fighter compared to these enormous, multiple hundreds of feet high kaiju?
Well, a thing I like to do sometimes is just kind of play with opposites. It's a kind of pretty basic and easy kind of storytelling Kickstarter. I did a long time ago, I did a comic called Cavemen in Space, which is like a sci-fi futuristic story that brings a bunch of cavemen from the past to live on a futuristic spaceship, and all sorts of like weird comedy beats and drama come from like playing with those two contrasts. And and it's just a thing that I like to do from time to time. So I think it would just seemed interesting. Like, I think as I was kind of considering doing a kaiju type story, I think it just kind of a natural thing was like, well, what can I do that's unique, or what can I do that's interesting with kaiju? And it's like, well, one of the main things about kaiju or daikaiju are that they're giant, right? And so what if one wasn't giant but was maybe still interacting with the giant ones? I think it started with something as basic as that, with just kind of like playing around with opposites, and it would be like both a striking image as well as like kind of funny and kind of interesting. But then at the same time, it does then give the readers, who most of my readers are younger readers, somebody that's like, that someone that they can identify with. And, a long time ago, somebody was talking to me about like, whether or not kids comics always have to have kids characters in them. And they were like, they don't have to be actual children, but they need to like be someone that kids can identify even if they don't realize it. And the comparison they gave me was like SpongeBob. They were like, SpongeBob is an adult, essentially. He lives on his own and has a job and is trying to get his driver's license, et cetera, et cetera. But he's also a kid. Like, he acts like a kid and he kind of looks like a kid. And so in a way, he's still like a child performing these adult actions. And so, it's not like I like sat down and was like, okay, I need a kid character. But after I've been doing graphic novels for younger readers for so long, like, it's kind of almost inherent in the way that I create, as that I come up with these kind of cuter kid-like characters.
Yeah, no, I didn't even like put together the you hit the nail on the head with the SpongeBob connection, or maybe not connection is the word I'm looking for. But I totally get what you're talking about, because he is more of an adult or a kid that's in. I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
In between.
I'm like totally losing my train of thought here. It's been a long day. I'm sorry. Good answer. That's all I got.
Nice.
That's all I got. Great dismount there on my part.
Yeah, and it made it kind of difficult at times to like frame scenes to have a character that's such a different size than other characters. But I also could kind of come up with fun scenarios where I've got him like bouncing off of rooftops and doing stuff like that kind of takes advantage of the scenery. And so, having a character this size battling characters that are so much bigger than him just kind of almost naturally lends itself to like interesting stuff happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we don't really see that a whole lot in kind of the greater scope of kaiju media. Like maybe couple episodes of Ultraman here and there that I can't really even think of off the top of my head. But certainly nothing much in the Godzilla or sort of Gamera, now that I'm thinking about it, with like in Gamera 2 with the Legion, but like that was sort of a singular scene in a longer movie. But
yeah, I mean, I think about sometimes like the Son of Godzilla movies, and Manila, like seems like as close of a comparison as I can make, but he's not like, you know, he's not going all out with the battles.
yeah,
It's just, what if Manila was good at fighting and
Yeah, what if?
it didn't suck?
whoa, slow your roll there, Brian.
Sorry,
roll.
was not
Strong
a,
words.
What if Manila was a fighter by nature and not lazy and scared of everything? Sorry.
You're still on thin ice, I think, but I'll accept it this time.
I'm not sorry.
When are you ever?
Never. Yeah, I personally like when kaiju are kind of like on the smaller side. I feel like there's always been this like race to make, like, especially in like Godzilla, race to make like the biggest monster. And I think it takes away a lot of perspective from like just smaller scale stuff. I think it's easier to wrap your head around destruction or or how much energy is in something if it's on a smaller scale. And I think like for kids it would be easier to understand, like to see like a couple of like something that they can relate to, like, you know, a house or two destroyed or something, instead of just like, you know, like an entire city like flattened. I think that's a lot easier to like to wrap your head around.
Yeah, I mean, like the horrible secret about kaiju movies is that the best ones are actually the ones with the best human storylines.
Yeah.
And
Hey, you could be a talking Toku host if you want.
and the farther you get away from that, the more kind of disconnected the story becomes.
Yeah. So I really like how he's small. I think it actually like brings a lot more personality and relatability to everything. So it's I really like that aspect a lot.
Cool. Yeah, thanks.
Let's see here. So, speaking of themes and messaging, I'd love to hear about some of the reasoning behind the specific message of the book. Themes like using your power for good and not really knowing what road you're taking in life are themes that can resonate with both kids and adults, ourselves included, especially me. Kaiju media has long been able to ride the line between those two age ranges. Was it important to you to keep that up?
Yeah. So I don't write with themes in mind. I let them just kind of, I just come up with something that I think is fun as my main concept. And as I'm kind of putting the story together, themes will just kind of naturally emerge. And then I can say like, okay, well, that's interesting. I can lean into that a little bit more this way or that way. And I think that the idea of like, using your strength and using your abilities to help others and thinking about how what you do has consequences both kind of naturally came from stuff like my editor was talking to me a lot about, like, we have to be careful about depicting destroying cities and stuff and make sure it's not like too intense. And I was like, well, maybe that's something that we can like talk about, is actually like the effects of the of the towns being destroyed and things like that. But then also, a thing that I've really realized in retrospect is that this book was written kind of in the midst of pandemic lockdown. And so I think I was just thinking a lot about like about just the idea of selflessness and about like what you can do to help others and putting your needs aside to do things that could help other people, and I was just thinking about community in general a lot at that time period. So I think those themes just kind of like naturally made their way into the book. And it's not like the book has anything to do with like pandemics or isolation or anything like that. But I do think this idea of like valuing community is a big part of the book. And I wanted to make sure that I was not only saying like, oh no, is everybody okay? Yeah, we're doing okay. Just because that was going to kind of calm my editor fears about like the destruction and stuff being a little too harsh, that I could also lean into that and see how that's affecting Ash. And at first it's not really affecting him. He's kind of ignoring it. But as things go on, his priorities change. And was there a second part to that question? I'm sorry.
It was mainly just about like, so a lot of kaiju media is kind of written that line to still like have messaging that is appealing to kids and adults that like people can resonate with. And
I mean, in general,
how important it was for you to keep that.
Yeah, when I first was making comics, I think the term like all ages was a lot more popular in comics publishing, because there was these comics like Bone by Jeff Smith and things like that were like, there wasn't really a specific kids market, but people were starting to make stuff that were like good for kids, but they still appealed to the adults who were mainly frequenting comic book shops. And as time has gone on and there's become kind of a bigger and bigger market for comics for kids, a lot of people in the world of like buying and distributing comics and promoting comics and things like that want to know specific age ranges, like who exactly is this for, and we want this to be made for grades 3 through 5 or 6 through 12 or whatever. And I still really hold this value of like quote unquote all ages comics as like something that is good for anyone to read. And so because we have to put a label on it, just because that's the way that bookstores are like shelved and stuff, like the target audience for my books is this like 3rd grade through 5th grade, middle grade level. But I have readers that are younger than that and readers that are older than that. And that's something I really value. And, when I'm writing the stories, I'm not like, this will be good for kids. It's more like, this will be fun to make. This will be fun to draw, and these ideas are interesting to me. And the fact that they're going to be then marketed to kids is kind of almost secondary. I mean, it's something I think about, but I want it to appeal to everybody. And it is true that like kaiju movies kind of have that same quality. And even like some kaiju movies are specifically more for kind of older audiences. And some of those like those Showa era kaiju things are for kids, but they get pretty gnarly compared to what we tend to like see for kids these days. But I don't know, I kind of like that tension.
Yeah, I mean, I think it having that broad appeal, it seems like more genuine. Like I feel like a problem with a lot of kids media is that it's very like sterilized and like it's clearly made to be the most like inoffensive kid thing ever. But like if you're working with just themes that you think are interesting and like they just are woven in naturally, I think that's a lot, like it comes across a lot more genuine. And like a lot of younger people are like a lot smarter than people give them credit for. So like like writing things for adults, like kids and young adults can still understand that kind of thing. And then writing it like that doesn't detract from enjoyment from older people. So I think it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I totally
agree. It definitely felt like everything that was in this book felt like it was just something that you were just enjoying writing about, that you thought was interesting, and that's good. I like that.
Awesome, thank you.
I mean,
Dave,
what?
You've been silent for a while.
You've been doing a good job interviewing, Brian. I'm sorry. I've been letting you do your thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you. It's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I try, Brian. Every so often, I'll throw you some crumbs.
Also, by the way, yes, you're right. Those Showa movies get real gnarly for like no reason.
Yeah.
Godzilla doesn't visibly bleed until the 70s more kid-friendly movies. What does that say?
It's super interesting. I want to know what their thought process was behind that.
It was
Isn't
cool.
it the deal that it came from Gamera? Like the Gamera movies were more violent and more kid focused.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Godzilla like was mirroring that.
Maybe. I mean,
I
Gamera
believe
got
I
away
read
with
that
it.
somewhere.
Gamera got away with it because the blood was like purple and green. It wasn't red like Godzilla did. They went the extra mile.
Jallow red.
It really is. It is that exact shade of red.
All right. Well, we got two more questions for you, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. But here's another big one. And obviously this is kind of just off the cuff here because the book's not even out yet, so you might not even have an answer prepared for this. But is there a future for this book, for this world, these characters? Like, assuming this does well, which I hope it really does, because it's a wonderful little story. Do you have any ideas on where to go next, on what to follow up on this book?
Yeah, that is a very good question. So my previous two graphic novels were two books called Ghost Hog and Dragon Racer, and they're each self-contained, so you don't have to read them both, but they have the same characters in them. The characters from Ghost Hog carry over into Dragon Racer, and I liked that. I liked them being self-contained because before that I had done a 5-book series called Merman, and I got a little bit bogged down in like, oh, my newest book is book 3 or book 4, but people still need to start back at 1 to get caught up and all this stuff. I kind of like these more self-contained stories where I can just hand somebody one book and be like, this is the whole thing. But I like also having that continuity of like, if you like these characters from Ghost Hog, you'll be happy to see them again in Dragon Racer. And originally I had thought that I was going to carry that over into the Littlest Fighter. And as I was working on it, I just couldn't find anything for those characters to really do in the story. And I didn't want to just include them just for the heck of them being there. But because of that thinking, the world is very similar. And so it could conceivably be existing within that same world as Dragon Racer and Ghost Hog. And so, I think I have a possibility of like doing a story now that can draw in characters from any of those books. But I do feel like, the book ends in an open enough way where it's like, I feel like a lot of like the issues that were specifically cooked up for Ash, and to a certain extent Dot, but more surrounding Ash have been, quote unquote, solved by the end of the book. And so I'd have to kind of like think of something else for him to like grapple with or go through in order for the story to be about him. But he and Dot are kind of like setting out on a journey by the end of it. And so maybe they could come across somebody else and take part in their adventure or something like that. But yeah, no specific plans have been made. But there's definitely the possibility because I really like the world I've created and I really like the characters of this book. So I definitely wouldn't mind returning to them.
So if all of you listening, go buy the book or Talking Toku will be canceled.
Yeah,
forever.
That would help too.
Yeah, go buy it. Please, for the love of God. All right, Brian, it's your favorite time.
Oh, boy.
Brian always gets mad at me for this.
My least favorite acronym.
So one of the segments we do here on the show, Joey, is just what have you been checking out recently? But when I developed the show way back in the day, I wanted to make it the most annoyingly long acronym I could possibly come up with, and Brian hates it, but I get to explain it every time I have someone new on the show, so I get to explain it to you. So the acronym itself is WNCKTAYCORN, and it stands for What New Cool Kaiju Thing Are You Checking Out Right Now?
Okay. And this means new to me, right? Like,
Yeah, new to you. It doesn't have to be like new, but it could be something you just watched, whether for the first time or just you watch it for the umpteenth time.
Sure. Well, let's see. I have been making my way through the Discotech set of Kamen Rider V3, and have been enjoying that quite a lot. I was a really big fan of the original Kamen Rider, and so I don't tend to really click with the modern Kamen Rider shows, but I like everything I've seen from the Showa stuff, and I really like the actor that plays V3. I've seen him in some other shows and stuff, and he's really great and has a lot of charisma. And the monsters are totally crazy. It's like taking an animal and a random household object and smashing them together, and suddenly you have, a creature that this guy has to kick, and I've been enjoying that quite a lot. Yeah, and movies wise, I don't know. I think I recently rewatched The Legend of Dinosaurs and MonsterBirds. Are we? I don't know how you guys feel about that one. Or
I'm
if you've
familiar with it, but I have not watched it. I would like to,
I am
though.
unfamiliar with it and have not watched it.
Okay, so this is a movie from 1977, and it is not like capitalizing on the kaiju craze, because by the late 70s, the like Godzilla thing had kind of petered out. It is actually capitalizing on the Jaws craze, and it is a Jaws ripoff movie where they said, but instead of a shark, it's a dinosaur and a pterodactyl.
Wow.
And it's good. It's like kaiju fans, there's a certain flavor of kaiju fans who like to calculate exactly how much time the monster's on screen and things like that. And I think that kind of person is often not happy with this movie. But I like this movie a lot because I think it's a weird, funky, like kind of grimy Jaws ripoff movie that happens to have giant dinosaurs in it too. And it's got great music, and it's a weird one, but I recommend people check it out.
Because that just got
I think we might have to check it out.
We might have to. Yeah, that got a Blu-ray release here in the States recently, didn't it?
Yeah, that is also Discotech.
Okay.
They've been doing some good work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one that's been on my radar for a while, but I haven't gotten around to it, like most other things that are on my radar. Yeah. Kamen Rider is a big one.
But just keep in mind the sort of Jaws formula of there's an awful lot of buildup before you actually see the creature. Okay. It's one of those things. Yeah.
Because I think this is the first time I've ever heard anyone talk about this movie to me, and with the Jaws comparison, I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds kind of cool. I might actually watch this now. So
we could do a Discord watch party.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing another one recently, so that might be
it. We need our monthly rewatch of Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers mentioned.
There you go, Brian. Good job.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well.
Also, Kamen Rider is our blind spot.
Yeah, we watched Shin Kamen Rider in theaters, really enjoyed it, and then went back to watch the original series. Got 6-7 episodes in.
Yeah, we didn't get very far.
We really liked what we saw, and then we never watched it again. I don't know why.
Yeah, the last episode we had watched, we were just screaming at the screen in excitement because something ridiculous happened, as it does. And then we were like, man, we got to watch this more often. And then something happened, I guess, and we just never watched it again.
It never happened.
I mean, those shows are so episodic that they don't grab you the same way that a story with a TV show with a through line plot will make you have to see the next one. But I kind of like that disposable quality of them. And the thing I really like about the original Kamen Rider is that it goes through a lot of changes. The the show by the end is very different than the first few episodes that you guys have watched, but like you're kind of seeing them build what are the building blocks of modern Toku TV, you know, and they're just throwing stuff out there. Sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't. And if you don't like something, it's a good chance that like 10 or 12 episodes later, it's going to be gone, you know?
Okay. Yeah,
and I kind of
like,
like that about it.
And that's like 100 episodes or something. So I'm sure it does that quite a bit throughout the original run.
Yeah,
too.
it goes through a lot of changes. But I like it, and I like the lead actor a lot, and yeah, and it's another one that has that kind of like funky 70s Toei thing. Yeah.
Well, again, maybe we'll finally get back to that, along with Legend of Dinosaurs and MonsterVerse, because I have heard some of the music from that movie. You mentioned that, and I'm like, oh, this is like way more interesting than I thought it was gonna be. This is wild for a kaiju movie, but
yeah, music's great. Very 70s.
Very 70s, very 70s, and I mean that as a good thing. I think that's all we have for you, Joey. So
okay,
that was an efficient Q&A.
That was pretty efficient, I gotta say. But before we all take our leave, where can people find you?
Sure. You know, social media is an ever-changing landscape these days, but the best places to find me are BlueSky and Instagram at the moment. I'm at Joey Weiser on BlueSky and Joey Weiser Comics on Instagram. My BlueSky account is like kind of all over the place, just talking about whatever movies and cartoons and comics I'm into, and a little bit of talking about my work. Whereas my Instagram account is like very focused on just you know, putting up pieces of art and talking about my book and things like that. So those are good places to follow me on social media. I have a website at tragic-planet.com that'll redirect you to an Adobe portfolio page that has all information about all my books and a lot of illustrations, including several like kaiju themed illustrations I've done over the years. And then yeah, most importantly, The Littlest Fighter is coming out on March 18th. I'll be doing a few different events around Georgia in late March, early April, and you can see me posting about that on my social media and stuff. And then later in the year, I'm going to be doing some more conventions and stuff. But I'd really, really love it if everybody could, you know, contact their local bookseller or however you like to buy books and pick up The Littlest Fighter.
Very nice. Well, before we go, there's one last thing we have to do. Joey Weiser, now that you have been on Talking Toku, I officially bequeath upon you the title of Friend of the Show. I know that's already been your role in the Discord server, but now it's official. So what that means is basically you are welcome back on at any time. If there's something you want to talk about, a movie you want to review, let us know. Or, you know, what the heck ever. We'll do whatever.
Yeah, sure. And don't hesitate to reach out to me if you want to talk about something. Yeah, I'd love to talk about a movie or something other than my own work. And it would be fun. I love to be considered a friend of the show.
That's what we like to hear.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so we've only done one guest review on the show, and it was for Gremlins 2, the new batch, and that went on so long. Oh my god.
I think that is either the most or the runner-up to the most, like the longest episode.
I think it is.
Oh wow. Yeah, and if we're talking about getting loose with definitions for
Gremlins is pretty far up there, yeah.
But I mean, when you bring it to the larger umbrella of tokusatsu, it definitely falls under that.
Exactly.
Umbrella.
See, this is why you are a friend of the show. You understand exactly how we work. I love it.
Exactly.
You're a good addition. I love it. All right. Well, if anyone else has any other closing words,
No, thanks for having me. This was really fun.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure. We always love having, and we love to showcase, indie comics and stuff. And it's not indie because it's under Oni Press, so it's not really super indie, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of the kind of larger end of small press, in that weird kind of middle ground. But they've got a good reach in distribution and marketing and stuff, but also a lot of like freedom given to the creators. So it's I like working with them.
Okay. Well, now that's it. All right. We're gonna stop. This is the part of the interview where we never know how to end things. It's our curse. But, all right.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw it back
Goodbye.
to Brian and David from next week. Goodbye. And hello. We did it. We did another successful interview in the books.
Successful is in huge air quotes because
Yes.
I ate a lot of shit while asking questions.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Please cut that out, Dave. Please.
I don't know. We'll see if I do.
Off topic for a second, but the other day I was talking shit about you to Sam.
Whoa, what
And
the hell?
I accidentally called you David, and I caught myself. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, that sounded wrong
Why
in
would
my
you
throat,
do
dude. I had to correct myself.
Yeah.
I mean Dave.
Yeah, I would never want to be
So
called.
alien to me.
I know. Disgusting. Never do that to me again. It wasn't even
I
to
know.
me, but never do it again.
I know, but I still had to come clean. It would have just been like haunting me. It's gonna keep me up at night.
I don't know. I feel like you've done it before, and it was really funny. I can't remember the context.
It was because 65 was really bad.
Okay,
and I
that is what it
mad at
was.
you.
I couldn't. I thought that was it, but I wasn't 100% sure.
It was that movie was so bad. It made me call you by your full name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it made me call you, which is like something that we only reserve for like
Serious things. Deaths.
Serious things.
Yeah. That's just how bad 65 was. That we were just that serious about it. Go check out our review for that movie. It's really funny because it's a bad movie.
Hear me have an existential crisis and question why copious amounts of money are spent on the worst fucking things to ever be released.
But yeah.
Anyways,
that's that. Should we move on to our final segment, Brian?
Yeah.
What new cool
I mean, you know what I'm gonna you
What?
know, dude. You know.
I?
It's Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, it is Monster Hunter. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
It's all Monster Hunter.
It's all Monster Hunter.
It's all Monster Hunter.
Still,
yeah.
It's good. Still good.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you've been playing it.
I have.
You like it.
I still don't 100% know what I'm doing, but I like it. I'm having fun.
Hey, we fought the electric dragon, and you were holding your own just fine until I got disconnected, and then you died immediately.
Yeah, I don't know why the connection keeps shitting out. It's weird because we're both playing on the same console.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking Monster Hunter. Like, World had a lot of connectivity issues, so it was bound to have connection issues. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I mean, I am on Wi-Fi, so it could be me, even though I'm like right next to the router.
Who knows?
I don't know. But yeah, it's really fucking good. You have hit the point in the game where the monster design gets really good.
Yeah, I'm at the Black Flame, and he's kicking my ass, unfortunately.
And he looks so fucking cool when he does it.
He does, and Alma had the audacity after I failed the mission to say, aim for the tentacles. You can probably cut them off. And I'm like, that's fucking what I'm trying to do, because I've seen the videos. You can cut them off. That's what I'm doing, Alma, but it ain't working. Leave me alone.
She's kind of very unhelpful.
She really is. She just kind of sits there and watches. He doesn't do shit.
Yeah, I in Monster Hunter World, your handler didn't follow you out into like the world. And I kind of appreciated that because she only annoyed me when I was back at base camp, and I always wanted to get out of base camp to go play the game.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Monster Hunter is great. It's definitely kaiju shit because it's Japanese and there's big monsters. I have beaten the game. I'm saying that
You don't sound sure of yourself.
I'm saying that unsurely because, like, on the PS5, you know how like on like when you hover over a game, it says like game completion, like whatever percent.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, it said like when I go in the game, the main quest is like over. I don't have any new objectives, but the game completion says 95%.
Oh.
So I'm kind of confused, and I'm thinking maybe I have to complete all the side quests.
Maybe, but that.
So I'm working through those right now. I'm working through those right now, but they're all like just, you know, miscellaneous monster fights.
Yeah.
So I've seen everything the game's really had to offer at this point. Like event quests, notwithstanding, because those are random and they rotate out. So yeah, it's a great game. If you like World, this is it. This is like the new gold standard. I still think I like World a little bit more, but you know, it kind of depends on your you know, what you value, I guess.
I tried to get into World and I couldn't, but I have been able to get into Wild, so I'm saying Wilds is better.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking after we're done with Wilds, maybe we could go back and try World, because I still think World has World has so many monsters that have been added to it through updates, and a lot of those fights are like really, really good.
Okay.
No doubt that more awesome, you know, monsters are going to be added to Wilds, but like, you know, World is just a very complete game. And,
okay.
You know, if you like Wilds, it is like identical gameplay.
Okay.
Identical.
I'll take your word for it.
And aside from that, finally, I have another person who's finished reading the Meg.
Do tell, Brian.
Sam, #1 fan of the show, read the Meg, and she liked it a lot. I think she liked it more than the movie.
That's not surprising.
But it was really funny because when she was reading it, I asked her, "How's the book going?" She's like, "It's good." Jonas Taylor is a cuck, though. Yeah.
You're goddamn right he is.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4 people. So I'm going to a party tonight, so I'm going to try to hand off the Meg to someone else.
Spread the good word, Brian. Do it.
I'm doing it. I'm going to release it into the public. People are going to be Meg pilled.
I'm so glad that my copy of the book is just getting so much mileage. I never thought that
should I bring my copy? Should I bring my copy of Dog Soldiers to this party?
Absolutely, you should. Oh my God, yes.
Be the lamest person there. Be like, can we put on Dog Soldiers?
Nah, you'd be the coolest person there, Brian.
Oh my God.
Kidding me?
I'll think about it. I will think about it.
I have faith.
Also, Sam beat Dave the Diver. I have not beat Dave the Diver, but we both came to the conclusion at the same time that we forgot to get the Godzilla DLC because neither of us have hit it, and we're both past Chapter 5.
Oh, hold on, because it's a random thing. There's an easy way to tell if you have it.
How?
Open up the game and go to your save file, and if there is there should be 2 little icons in the top right corner of your save file. One will be Dredge, the other will be Godzilla.
Wait, so I have to go in the game for this?
Into the game and just go to your save file. Like, look at your save file.
I'm going to do this right now.
Yeah, do it live on the episode.
Doing it right now.
We're going to find out if you actually have the Godzilla DLC.
I hope I have it. If I don't, I'm going to cry.
If you don't, I apparently there is a backdoor way to get it. So,
really,
I don't know if it works, but you know,
still might need it for
yeah.
Yeah. What is this? My God, my computer is so annoying. All right.
It's all for the greater good.
It's just the dredge symbol.
So you do not have the Godzilla DLC.
I do not have the Godzilla DLC. Nope.
That's so sad. Well, I will try and find the thing I saw about still getting it, and I'll send that to you later.
Okay. Piracy is okay, kids.
You goddamn right it is. Especially for if it's a free DLC. Who cares?
Yeah.
no one's. What?
Sorry, continue. Sorry. I just remembered I did have another thing, but you can.
No, that was kind of the end of my thought. What was your other thing?
Well, I told you about this the other day, but you know that the hit Netflix movie, The Ritual, Dave?
Oh, yes.
I read the book, or I listened to the book. Now I remember you thought that the movie was a little bit too far up its own ass.
Correct.
And I like The Ritual. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was like anything like crazy. So I was curious about the book because I just like was like, how different could it possibly be? And turns out it's actually pretty different. Instead of like the creepy like Norwegian people or like Finnish people or whatever at the end, who are like old timey people, it's just like a group of fucking black metal like band members, like Norwegian dudes and like fucking hilarious face paint and shit.
Which is the way
to
sell me on anything.
It's just so much like goofier. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but if you were not impressed with The Ritual, but you liked the idea of it, give the book a try.
I'm planning on it eventually.
Definitely, yeah, it's definitely like funnier. Like it takes itself less seriously.
Okay.
And like it's just very funny because there's times in the book where the author, or not the author, the main character literally can't do anything except talk shit, and it's just really funny.
All right,
it's just really funny. It definitely takes itself way less seriously than the movie did. So I think that if anybody was, especially you, I think you'd appreciate this different take. On it. Yeah.
I look forward to it.
That's it. That's been it for me. I mean, just been.
Damn, you never have so much stuff on this segment, Brian. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to read more or listen to more books because the internet has been pissing me off a lot. So I've just been doing other stuff to get through the day, you know.
Well, maybe, Brian, in that case, maybe you should listen to some of the books that I've been reading, namely friend of the show, Jeremy Robinson's Project Nemesis series, which I finally got back to reading. I read Project Hyperion, which is book number 4. Technically book 5 if you're including Island 731, which is a not prequel but interquel that is a separate story that ends up tying into the greater Project Nemesis storyline. This one, it's got a big mech, a big ancient Atlantean mech, and also 2 alien monsters. One looks like Cthulhu, one looks like a giant H.R. Giger alien, and it's pretty cool. I do think it's sort of my least favorite book in the series so far, mostly because at the end of the previous book, Project 731, they introduced a bunch of stuff from another one of his novels. And if you're wondering why so many different novels are tying into this, one of the things we asked him when we had him on the show was, what the hell is the Robinson-verse? A lot of his books tie into different other books, so that's part of the reason. But a lot of the stuff, he put in a lot of stuff from an older novel of his called Raising the Past, which I thought was okay. And basically there's an alien invasion coming, and I just don't care. I'm sorry. Like, I wasn't super big on Raising the Past, and I don't care about these interdimensional aliens that are coming to wage war with us. It's just not all that interesting to me. But it makes for some cool kaiju fights, and I'll take that at least. Who knows? I got there's one more book left in the core series. It's Project Legion, I think it's called. So maybe that'll be better. We'll see. But you should definitely read or / listen to some of his stuff because it is quite good. And I still stand by, Brian, that you would really like his Chess Team series as well. So if you're doing more books, good, start there. Do that.
All right. If it has an audiobook, I will probably get to it quickly.
I know a lot of his readers like swear by the audiobook versions of his stuff. So yeah.
Perfect then. Perfect.
So there's that. I have been doing my best to keep up with kaiju comic books because Jesus Christ, there's a lot coming out this year. I think I talked about Behemoth last time, which is Gramps Butore's comic he's doing with Dark Horse. But Sophie Campbell and Matt Frank just put out issue 1 of Mothra, Queen of the Monsters under IDW. It's the first ever non-Godzilla IP book that IDW has done. And you know what? It's really cool. It deals with these twin sisters who they get separated by a kaiju attack where Mothra ends up dying, spoiler alert, and they are reunited after 15 years, I think it is, and one sister is like this hardened survivor, and then the other sister is like all spiritual now because she met up with the Shobijin, and the Shobijin are like, hey, some bad shit's gonna happen because Mothra's dead, and she didn't lay an egg before she died, so we're kind of fucked. You guys need to go back in time and get a new Mothra egg. Which is like the sickest shit I've ever heard. But yeah, issue 1 ends with them going back in time to the dinosaur era, and that's all we know so far. But there's some fun Easter eggs because, you know, it's Matt Frank doing the art. He's always going to throw in some cool Easter eggs. I saw a Rodan. I saw there are some sauropods that I believe are supposed to be Titanosaurus, and they are designed to look like the kaiju Titanosaurus, which is really fun. And I think there was also a Godzillasaurus in the forest there as well. And again, this is only issue 1. I don't know what else is going to happen. I'm excited to see it. It's really, really good, and you guys should definitely go pick it up because
glad to see that somebody is treating Titanosaurus well.
Right, Toho. Talking to you.
Fucking Toho over here treating one of their sleeper hits like shit. God.
Yeah.
The disrespect. The disrespect.
Unbelievable.
You know what? It is unbelievable. Let's start a riot.
Okay. All right. Slow down.
In the name of Titanosaurus. All right.
Is that it? I think that's it that I've been doing.
I think so. Yeah. I feel like I had something else, but I don't even remember, man.
So do I. I feel like I had something else, but I don't remember. I just don't remember.
we didn't watch anything, did we?
No. We kept talking about watching stuff, but we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, and then Monster Hunter came out, and it kind of ruined my life.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll have more. I don't know. But I think that's the show. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck we're doing next episode.
I guess we'll maybe circle back around to Ready Player One.
Oh god. We could do that. We did talk about covering monsters, Gareth Edwards' Monsters.
Oh my god, that would be so much better.
That would be so much better. Let's do that instead. Let's not do Ready Player One. Let's do Monsters instead.
I feel like we're always like we're like the vultures circling around the Ready Player One every couple weeks.
It's gonna happen eventually. It will happen eventually. It's just a matter of when.
I know. I know. Let's keep pushing it off for as long as we can.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. All right. Well, I think that's the show. So, yeah. Thanks for listening. You can check us out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch. all that talking to and BlueSky, all that talking Toku. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. I know it's usually more of a chaotic sign off, but like I ain't got anything, man. It's kind of been a long week for both of us, so
Grim.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Leave.
Go home. Get out of here, you I'm trying to think of that SpongeBob quote from where he has the seahorse, but I can't think of it right now.
I don't know. I'm brain dead.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.